Hey, bio students. So, sorry I'm not there today. We are out at the CMU Brain Bee. Hopefully we will get some people who make the top spots there. But while I'm gone, you have a sub, and I would like you to please make sure that you give them your full attention, and whatever the sub says goes. Let's start with just a quick review. So you had to learn sections 2.1 and 2.2, which were review from physical science. And if you remember, we covered these in groupings. So atoms, nucleus, electron went together. You had to know the structure, the charges, elements, isotopes, compounds, chemical bonds. Elements and isotopes went together. Make sure you know the difference. And then compound through molecule went together. A key thing was to be able to tell the difference between ionic and covalent bonding. The major keys here in the key concepts was in isotopes and its chemical properties, and covalent versus ionic bonding. So if you don't feel comfortable with those, I would make sure you study those a little bit more this weekend. In section 2.2, you had to compare cohesion and adhesion. Remember, co means peers, so same molecules, and add means to add a separate molecule, so two different molecules. And then you had mixture through suspension, be able to tell the difference between a mixture, solution, and suspension. And then the two parts of a solution, a solute and a solvent. And finally, we paired together pH through buffer. So you have to be able to read the pH scale, tell the difference between an acid and a base based on their pH, and then their hydrogen and hydroxide ion concentrations, and remember how a buffer works. Major keys here were the polarity of water and the pH scale. Then on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? No. Wednesday and Thursday, we went over stuff from 2.3. And I said these were all about organic compounds, so living chemistry, biochemistry. And there were a couple major things. You have to know their names, so the 4 groups of organic compounds names. You have to know their function and their monomer versus their polymer. And we also added why carbon is a little bit trampy or ideal for life. So review that flow chart that we did yesterday. And if you did not get one, please make sure you check the absent folder and get the work that you missed. And then we did a virtual lab. Most classes were able to finish the lab, with the exception of my 3-4 class. You'll have to finish it today during work time. Please remember that Trenton and Charlie's already completed the lab, and they can help you if you need it. So now we finished Chapter 2 with Section 2.4, and some of this is going to be review. So the first part is a chemical reaction. And this is probably something you remember from physical science, but a chemical reaction has reactants and then products that it makes. And they're always different, chemically different. So typically you could say chemical A plus chemical B leads to chemical C. If at any point you need this paused, just ask the sub to pause it while you write. I don't like you to write while you're trying to listen to me, so. Chemical reaction, A plus B makes something new. Or you could have said A makes C plus B, or B plus C, whatever. In our example, the reactants would be the A and the B. It's what comes before you make something in your chemical reaction. The products in our example would be what you get, which in this case is C. When we look at a chemical reaction, it requires a certain amount of energy. Some of them are pretty quick and don't need a whole lot of energy. They're called spontaneous or energy-releasing reactions. And some of them take a lot longer, and you might even have to add heat to it or something to make it go faster. These are energy-absorbing reactions,